Hello guys, welcome back to Mallikarjun 34 channel. This is Mallikarjun. Okay, again this is going to be one of the continuation series for my grid infrastructure installation and configuration, and then the RAC database creation and then configuration. So in our previous videos, we have seen a couple of topics on VirtualBox, user creations and directory creations, and OL installation and DNS name server configuration and creating a shared disk and OEL cloning and also ASM disk creation. And yesterday we have seen the run Cluffy pre-checks, and also we have installed our 12.2 grid infrastructure for 2 nodes. And in this today's session we are going to install Oracle Home, that is 12.201 Oracle binaries, and we are going to create ASM record disk group, and then we are going to install Oracle database. So before I just start with the today's session, that is Oracle Home installation. And if you're new to my channel, always go back to YouTube and then search for Malik034, and then please do subscribe. If you like my videos, please share, like, and comment. And if you missed out my previous videos, you can always go back to YouTube and then search for Malik034, and you will get the complete series of videos, the grid infrastructure installation and configuration. If you click on this particular playlist, you will see all this the series I arranged in order. You can refer all this in this particular order. You will understand very easily. So let's get started with the today's session, that is Oracle Home installation and then creating ASM disk group and then the database creation. So I already opened 2 node, CRS CTL check CRS. You do all these checks, you will see CRS CTL check CRS, right? It is already online. CRS CTL stat resource -t, stat resource -t. All the services are online right here. And then you can see your ASM instance using smon, or you also do with ps-if grep d.win, right? You can see all this. And similarly, if you can go to node 2 ps-ef, you can do it as a grid user or you can do it as a root user, doesn't matter. Grep smon, or you can do d.win, or you can do CRS CTL check CRS, or you can do CRS CTL stat resource -t. So CRS CTL stat resource -t, you can see all the services are online here. So we are good now. So only ASM is running. And if I can go back to node 1, and I can go to grid user ASM CMD ls. So I have only data disk group ls-l, you can see, or lsdg. You can see it is mounted only data disk group. So we will create reco once we done with our Oracle Home installation. So grid is owned by grid user. Now we have Oracle user for Oracle Home installation and then Oracle database creation. So I have Oracle user created already here. So we will go to Oracle user here. CD user will check the directory app Oracle product. No, we don't have it. We don't have product directory here. So we are here now. So what we can do, we can create mk, or else I can directly log in as a Oracle user, su Oracle, and cd u01 app Oracle. So I can create a directory called product user and app Oracle product 12201 and db home _1 mkdir-p, right? So now I got the product directory here. I'll go inside product, and then 12.2 db home _1. This is going to be my Oracle Home. Sorry, 12.2 db home. This is going to be my Oracle Home. Similarly, I'll create the same Oracle Home on the node 2 as well. mkdir-p cd. Yeah, you can see this is my Oracle Home. So now right now we don't have Oracle binaries installed. So let's start with the Oracle binary installation. So I have my 12c binaries here, cd xhost plus su Oracle, so softwares, and 12c. I have my database here. Yeah, already I have unzipped, and this is going to be my 12c database binaries already unzipped, and this is my 12c zip file I already unzipped, and I'll get this database directory, and inside that I'll be having my run installer. So I'll start with this run installer, and then it will launch GUI mode. From then you can select your Oracle home path, and then you can install it. So this Oracle home installation, either you can do with the run installer, that's a GUI mode, either you can use the run installer with the silent mode using the response file, that is no need of any GUI setup, that's a silent mode installation. Or if you already have the 12c binaries running in any other server, you can take a tar of that and clone that particular Oracle home here. So any of the method you can follow it. All are applicable, all are acceptable. Either you can go with the Oracle home cloning, or go with the run installer with the silent mode using the response file, or you can go with the run installer in the GUI mode. Any of the order, any of the method you can follow. So here it is asking give this my Oracle credentials. I don't want to give that one. And we can see three options here: create and configure database, install database software only, upgrade existing database. So here I'm going with the install database software only. It will install only binaries. You can see a single instance, either it's going to be single instance or rack instance, real application cluster, or rack one node. So I'll go with the real application cluster. Okay, already two nodes selected. So for Oracle users, no need to check, because it will do. If you click next, it will check the SSH equivalent setup. See, the initial setup requirement for installation node 2, it failed, so it does not have any SSH equivalent setup. So I'll give my Oracle user password here. I will do setup. See, establishing SSH connectivity between the selected nodes. Right, so you can do by giving this particular password here, or you can manually do the SSH equivalent setup. So that SSH equivalent setup I already covered in one of my lectures, so you can always refer it in my YouTube channel if you missed out that particular session. Or else the simplest way is you can give the Oracle user, and then you can give the password, and you can do this setup. It will automatically do. Okay, so it failed, and we'll see why it failed, because let me see whether I can able to log in with that particular password. Password might be wrong, I believe. Oracle. Yep, password is wrong. So let me reset my password on both the nodes. I'll log in as a root user on node 2, and then I will do passwd Oracle. Right, so password has been set now, so I'll retry it once again. Okay, now you can see successfully established the passwordless SSH connectivity between the selected nodes. So that is basically issue with the password. So password, it has not correct valid password. So now I'll go with the next. Right. Okay, so it prompted for enterprise edition or standard edition. So whichever license you have, you can select appropriate option. I'll go with enterprise edition, and this is going to be my base location and user and app Oracle product 12201 and DB home. This is going to be my Oracle home location. So go next. Okay, done. So you have to select appropriate groups here, whichever applicable. If not applicable, you can leave it blank. The administrator group is DBA, and database operation group is upper, and backup and recovery group, and data guard administrative group, and key management administrative group, and real application cluster administrative group, rack DBA. So whichever is applicable, you can select it based upon your design, based upon your best practices or standards. So not necessarily you have to have all these groups, because you can have only OInstall or DBA and ASM DBA. So those are the basic groups are more than enough. So, but again, it depends upon the current environment setting, and then what are your already existing environment setting, what are your best practices your organization is following. So you have to design accordingly, and you have to select appropriate groups. So for that, we have this particular Oracle documentation, the real application cluster installation guide for the Linux, that is 12.2 series. So you can refer that. It has all the user, what are the checklist, and what are the users creations, what are the pre-checks you need to take care. Everything is there. So everything you can refer it here in this particular document. You can go to doc.oracle.com. It's doing all those checks. Okay, so we got a couple of fail checks. That NTP anyway we have ignored. That clock synchronization or NTP is, we know that we can ignore. And resolve integrity check, we can make it, we can fix it. Scan also we can fix it. So first thing is, you just there's no fix up here, so it all are like fail checks. We know that it's already result.config is already same in both nodes. For that, you can check it out /etc result.conf, or else you can, I have already have the backup of that result.conf backup. You can replace it back result.conf on node 2, and similarly on node 1 you can do cat/etc resolve.conf. Okay, so now it is not same. So I have the backup copy of result.com. I can put it back cat/etc resolve.conf. You can see it is pointing to my node 1. And again on node 2 also, if I can quickly go to node 1 and node 2 cat/etc result.com. Yeah, it is also pointing to node 1, so that's fine. So we will go back and we'll check again, or else you can do here cat etc hosts, and you can do ns lookup of your scan. It's not resolving my name. That is the reason it is pointing that particular error. So for that, I will do service network restart. Service network restart. That's one thing on both the nodes I will do. After I do service network restart, I need to my result.config file will get changed. I need to revert it back. Cat. Okay, so I will just copy my backup result.config file to result.config, and I will do service named restart. Okay, after if you do those things, you will be able to resolve your ns lookup. You can see you're able to resolve, right? So similarly, I'll go to node 2 and I will do service network restart. Okay, so I'll copy that one, my etc resolve.conf backup file to etc resolve.conf, and I will do service named restart. If I do cat etc hosts, and if I do ns lookup to my scan, ns lookup, it's happening, right? So that's a fix for these two fail checks. So again, I will do one more time check. Right, so NTP I can ignore, this clock synchronization or NTP I can ignore, and then the scan already we know that or the name resolution is happening, but still it is giving the fail checks. I can ignore these two and I can proceed further. Yes, and I can save my response file and start with the installation. If I can go back here and if I can check for CRSCTL, let's say SM1 CRSCTL stat resource -t. You can see scan 1, scan 2 and scan 3 all are online, and also they are resolving. Yeah, it started with the database installation. That's Oracle Database Home installation on node 1. That's a local node. The preparation step now. The prepare phase is done, and now it's copying from the software location to my the database, Oracle Database Home. It is extracting inside this particular folder, this particular Oracle Home. So if you click on these details, you will see which step it is doing and what step it is executing internally. And this is the particular log file. You can tail this particular log file as well. Take a session here. You can do tail -f. Okay, so you can see these two particular screens, right? It's doing a lot of operations, so a lot of files it is extracting here. You can see it is changing all the permissions in the backend. You can see here extracting all those things, right? You can see all those. Yeah. Once the copying is done, it will start relinking the libraries and the binaries. Okay, so now the copying is done. It is doing the linking binaries. You can see all this are the binaries it is linking. All these are the components. And if I can minimize this one, these are the backend command it is running to link that libraries and the binaries. Okay, so the linking binaries it is completed on this local node, and now it is saving inventory, local inventory, and the central inventory, and then it will start with the remote node operations, copying to the remote nodes. Okay, so local node setup is done, and then started copying to the remote nodes. You can see this particular line. Copy this particular DB home to the remote nodes, that is node 2. Okay, the copying the Oracle binaries to the remote node is completed, and it is doing that the remote node configuration, that is a preparation, and setup. Preparation is done, and then it's doing the setup now, and then it is saving all the inventory, local inventory and remote inventory. And once that is done, it will ask us to run the root scripts. Okay, so we got the root install script now. So we will run this root install script on both the node as the root user. I am at node 1. Just enter. Yeah, node 1 is done, and we'll go to node 2. And as a root user, run the same script, root.sh. So done. So that basically will set up your environment. That is all this DB home, orainv and core files, and then it will set up ora tab, and it will finish that root installation script. So go back and click OK. Done. The installation of Oracle Home was successful. Just close your screen and go to DB Home. This is your binaries. You can see all the home. It's installed on node 1, and you can go to node 2. User 1 app Oracle product 12.2 DB Home PWD and ls-ltr. This is your remote node. Similarly, you can go to user 1 app Ora inventory cd context.xml inventory.xml cat inventory.xml. You can see your DB home, and this is your grid home, and this is on node 2. Similarly, if you go to the same inventory location on node 1, cat inventory.xml, you can see your node db home information on this node 1 as well. So this concludes the Oracle home installation using the GUI mode method. As I said, you can go with silent mode installation using a response file, or also if you already have a 12c binaries, you can clone it by doing a tar, taking a tar backup and and tarring here and then running that clone.pl script. Okay, so with this, I'll stop it here for today's session, that Oracle home installation, and tomorrow we'll start with this record scope creation, and then followed by this Oracle RAC database installation with some Runclafe DB pre-checks, and then we'll proceed with the 12201 RAC database creation. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot.